So I'll probably have to stop and go. But when it comes to RA, if you don't know what that is, retro achievements, I have mastered a lot of games, and I decided to take a stab at 100 of the, I guess not hardest because um, it's not really the hardest. Some of them I don't actually show on my profile because they're kind of just there as waste of space. But overall, I played at least 100 noteworthy ones that I'm willing to talk about. A lot of them are Pokemon hacks, as you can probably see, or Pokemon games in general. There's some Mega Man in there, Pac-Man, Tetris is around, stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff. You can see the Pac-Man collection, but I wanted to rank them in not a way of being like, oh, here's the hardest one, because that's not very fun. But I'm gonna rank them in what I think was fun. I think that works the best. So I'm gonna be naming these tiers real quick. We're gonna call this super fun game. At least a good set, because a lot of these are gonna have bad sets. They're very there's a few like really fun games in here that have just, in my opinion, bad sets for them, um, which really sucks. And then we're gonna go. Let me see. Let's go. Let's go. Fun game. All we'll go all right set. It's a mix of both, because sometimes I play not fun games. We will put bad game, great set, because there is a couple of those on this. And then we're gonna go uh mid, just in general mid. This is gonna be also peak streak game. If you don't know, peak streak is an event where you have to try and master 100 games in a row, um, per each day. Some of these games I straight up played for that, just for it. Uh, I burned myself out on peak streak. But then we have D. I'm probably gonna add another tier. Let's add tier. This was truly um not worth it. And then yeah, we need another tier. Uh, let's go with a gray. Add a row below. Yeah. Okay. Oh, whoops. Change you to, what was it? You were green, something like that. Let's change you to gray. And this is truly bottom, just straight up bottom. But I think I'm gonna go in kind of a random order, because it kind of spit out in a random order. I collected all the badges, and this is what happened. But yeah, I think we're gonna start really well. I think let's start Rygar. This is a fun game. All right, set. It's a very basic, bare bones set for RA. There's not anything too spectacular. There is one hard achievement, which is kind of the stopping point for a lot of people to master it. Rygar also happens to be one of the like best NES games that is limited by one factor, no save feature. I've mentioned this before to a bunch of people, but Rygar could have been like the top 10 games of all time for the NES if it just had the save feature, but it doesn't. Um, let's get a little more interesting. Uh, we should probably start eliminating the Pokemon hacks, but I'm not smart. Let's go Sega Galaga. I'm pretty sure this is Sega Galaga. I'm not gonna be able to remember the names of all of these because there's a lot of hacks here. Um, this is actually a fun game and alright set. It is brutally hard at a certain point. If you've never played Sega Galaga for the SG-1000, it is it's fine until it isn't. It starts getting insanely fast in the speed, which is what makes the set alright. It would be a good set if it didn't require you to just be good enough. It's not too hard, which is why it gets an alright set. I kind of need it in between here, but we'll make do. Uh, this is one of my favorite. Ooh, actually, you know what? We need a new tier. It should be above this one. At a row above. Yeah, we need a new tier. I totally forgot about this. We're gonna make it pink because whatever. Pink made me play a new game, which is what some of these are. And if you made me play a new game, it's not like super fun. I mean, made me play as in made me master it. And that's what this one was. Never played Galaga 88, which is what this was for the TurboGrafx 16. I love this game. I think this game is actually really fun. It's one of my favorite versions of Galaga now. Which there's a couple of these that we'll play in here, but if you have not played this, a really fun version of Galaga, a really good shoot 'em up in general. The achievement set is a little wonky. It would probably be and it would probably be an alright set, honestly, but it's definitely better because it was the first time I was exploring the game. It was actually really, really fun. I like this game a lot. Um, what are we doing? Galaxian, I think, is hilarious. Uh, it's a bad game, great set, or just mid. I could put it in either of these. I finished this in 15 minutes, which apparently a lot of people struggle with. Kind of funny. But it's also a bad game. So I'm going to do that. Because it's not mid. I didn't play it for Peak Streak. It's a hard one. I don't know where to put that, honestly. Oh, Mario Bros. I did. For the Atari 7800. Very simple set. If you ever want to get a Mario Bros. Badge, there you go. Pretty simple. Burnout. I love Burnout 3. The set happens to be really good. Most of the Burnouts actually have a good set on RA. I think they're pretty fair. There's a lot into them because there's a lot into the game, but it doesn't like make you do insane shit, which we'll get to some of them that do. I think Burnout 3 is actually one of my favorite games on RA that I did. California Speed, I kind of just need like a time waster, huh? It's fun game, alright set. I need another tier. Am I really making another tier? It kind of goes in between these. Yeah, I guess so. I don't want to, but don't worry, we're adding more tiers. We're heroic. Let's do a purple. Yeah, you can still read that. Time waster. Brain off. And that is what California Speed is. California Speed, if you don't know, is a racing game for N64. And the set happens to be pretty much like just a long time for very little points. It's just time waster brain off, which is a lot of these Pokemon hacks, honestly. We have Marble Madness for Game Boy, which we're gonna put both in. I actually think they're bad games with a great set. I don't like Marble Madness at all. How I got 2 badges, no idea. But there's that. Ooh, this is Batman. Never played the Game Boy version of Batman the video game. Worth it 100%. If you haven't played it, I recommend you at least play it to beat it. It's a nice little platformer on the Game Boy. High quality for the time. Honestly worth it. I think this is a very surprising game for me to like have encountered. Let's go a little deeper. Stop That Roach. I played it for Peak Streak. It's very boring. I guess it could be fun, but it's just like not. It's not fun. Tetris BPS for NES is not worth it. I hate this set. The game itself is okay. It has really wonky controls, which I use. There's a patch to fix it. Didn't do it because I'm an asshole. Not worth it at all. I hate that set. That set pissed me off. PSP Tetris is probably one of the best Tetris sets of all time on RA. I have a lot of Tetris sets, so Tetris DX is really good as well. It's an alright set. NES, I think it kind of has a bad set, but it's still Tetris. Wonder Swan, I think, is just like time waster brain off because it's not that hard. It's probably the easiest Tetris that I put up there, unless I missed one. I don't think I did. Oh, let's do the Smash. So I love Smash 64. It's one of my favorite games. The set itself is really easy, besides one achievement, and honestly, really fair. I actually really love RA sets that have the one achievement that's really hard that makes people like keep trying, because it's one achievement. Even if you spend like 2-3 hours on it, you still got to mastery in 2 to 3 hours. Because like this, I finished every other achievement in what, like an hour, and then the other achievement it took me about another hour or two. Now of course Smash 64 doesn't fit everybody, but I love Smash 64, so which is why Smash Remix, which hasn't been updated in a long time, just ended up being a time waster brain off, because it's just doing a lot in the game. It's not too hard, not in my opinion at least, but it's definitely like time waster brain off. This is also one of my proudest badges because it takes a lot to get this. Um, it just takes a lot of time. Uh, there's a lot of badges here that like kind of confuse me. I'm trying to remember them. Force Unleashed was interesting. It's almost like made me play a new game because I hadn't fully explored the PS2 version of Force Unleashed. Um, and the game is all right. I think the game is actually bad in comparison to the 360, but we'll put it here. I do think the set is just all right in general. It's not very spectacular. From Below, I think we need like bad set. I Oh my god, this game pisses me off. Not worth it. Oh my god. From Below is a hack. Uh, for NES, I think. I think so. It's been a long time. Where instead of playing normal Tetris, you can play normal Tetris. It's a really good Tetris. It feels great. And then there's a in certain game modes there's a tentacle that like pops up and like pushes your blocks, so you have to like manage around it. It becomes a lot harder. Oh my god, is one of the achievements goddamn not worth it. It made this badge freaking annoying, and I'm not the only one. So I honestly that achievement should be worth like 50 points instead of 25. Should we get the Pac-Manias out of the way? Though weirdly enough, the Pac-Manias kind of didn't go where I thought. So Pac-Mania, if so, I guess I should actually put the proper one and made me play a new game. If you don't know, well, you of course you wouldn't know. I don't. I never played Pac-Mania before. Pac-Mania is a game that I never played before RA, and so I took a stab at it, and I love it. I think Pac-Mania is one of my probably my favorite way to play Pac-Man. And I played the Genesis one first, and I got the badge, and I went, oh, that's pretty cool. And I noticed that the NES one exists, which is, it's alright. The NES one isn't my preferred. I think it's my least favorite of the three. Um, but it's still a fun game and alright set. And then the arcade game is fun game, alright set. One of the irritating things about Pac-Mania is that the collectible like aspect where you're like, oh, go get an ice cream cone is very locked to certain levels, and it's very like annoying to go and get those achievements. That's what makes it an all right set. It's not insanely good. I will give the Genesis the extra tier because it's the first one I played of Pac-Mania, which just happened to be the order. Like if I had played NES version, it would have been probably up there while Genesis is down here. This one was not out when I played Pac-Mania, but I love Pac-Mania. I think Pac-Mania is my preferred way. Let's do Burnout. Not worth it. I think the original Burnout is a bad game. The set, it's very bare bones because they didn't want to force you to play that much for the badge. I got the badge literally for the wall when I start building up more Burnout badges, and that's it. Dragon Ball Z Budokai, I think it's a fun game. The set is alright. It's a very grindy set. As somebody who's badged it and was one of the first to actually badge it, it's pretty grindy. I'll just put an alright set. It's good for what it is. It's just the game itself doesn't lean itself towards a better set. Yeah. I got it because Dragon Ball Z Budokai means a lot to me. What are we doing? We do have the Space Invaders collection. So this is Space Invaders 91. Really, really fun game. At the start and becomes brutally difficult. when it comes down to it, I think the set is really, really good for what it is. Um, man, I do not want to ever speedrun Space Invaders 91. It is hard. Like, it is a really hard game. But, I don't know. I love the music in it. It's really nice. It made me play a good game, and I like it. Where was the other one? This one's really good. Super fun game, good set. I honestly think Space Invaders for Game Boy is that. Now it's a really hard one for people that aren't good at Space Invaders. I happen to be that, so um, there you go. Space Invaders Revolution. It it kind of fits. I had played this one before, so it doesn't go made me play a new game, but it's really hard. It's kind of both of these. Like some of the set things are okay. I know the person who made the set, but I'm trying to, it's kind of a time waster. Brain off. It was pretty quick. I'll be honest. Um, I think that's all the Space Invaders. There's a lot of Space Invaders. I'm missing like one achievement. Ridge Racer. I had played like Ridge Racer for like 10 minutes before, so it could technically go here, but it's also one of the best games on RA. I think it encapsulates everything with the game, how fast you need to be. You have a 100-pointer achievement, which is really rare on RA. And the fact it has a 100-pointer makes you feel very, very good. 100-pointers are this big, like, they're bragging rights. They're really good milestones to have on your profile. We'll get to the one with 1,000 different 100-pointers, but overall, I happen to think that Ridge Racer is definitely like insane. I think this is really good. Ridge Racer Revolution would be here if there weren't those goddamn drifting achievements. Uh, yeah. Oh, Tetris on Game Boy. I think this is actually probably the perfect Tetris. I'm actually gonna put it next to the PSP. Uh, I don't know if I'm gonna order these. I don't know, but Tetris on Game Boy I think is perfect if you just aren't good at Tetris. You should be able to get the badge even if you're bad. It's also a good learning Tetris if you want to get like more into it. What else we got? Oh, Pack Car, really fun game. Made me play a new game. It's definitely high up. We have what are we doing? What are we doing? Zombie Nader. This game is awful. Kamikaze, Squirrel, Garbage, whatever. I hated this game. I streamed it. I hated playing it. The set is simple, which would actually be like great set, bad game. But I actually hated this game. It was so unfun. Arkanoid Returns. Bad game, great set. I feel bad for the developer because I actually fucking hate this game. Arkanoid Returns is just straight up a bad game. I hate it. And the set has you explore all 100 levels. It kind of really sucks. Kind of really sucks. It really sucks because the 100 levels are split into two brackets, the 1 through 50 and then the 51 through 100, and you have to do them in one shot. I'm going to tell you right now, you are stuck in like there's a level in the 60s, 4 levels in the 90s that you'll be there for like literally an hour and a half just on those. Not to mention you spend like 2-3 hours on the others. It's really long. It's a great set, but it's a bad game. Midnight Magic. This was I'm not a pinball guy. I think this this game just sucks. Like I'm not a pinball guy. It's one of the hardest pinball games. It's a Atari 2600 game. I could see that it would be fun if it worked properly, but it doesn't, and that's really frustrating. X Zeus, fun game, alright set. I liked it a bit, and then it became a grind. It has a 100-pointer in it, which is it's worth it because of how actual insane it is. But it's a fun game. It's very, I guess it's technically it made me play a new game because I didn't play it before. Yeah, we'll put it there. It kind of gets to be up here. It's good. It's just not like insane. The Game and Watches I did for Peak Streak, Game and Watch Collection 1 and 2. Um, Technically I would want like Time Waster too, but I did for Peak Streak. So, um, this was this game actually sucks. It's not worth it. This one is one of my least favorite. Ben 10 Alien Force. I'm gonna be brutally honest. The most of the main game is fine. It would probably be like Time Waster Brain Off, but the collection achievements were really frustrating because of the way the game worked. Um, really annoying. Final Fantasy Adventure, fun game, alright set. That's pretty much how I feel about it. It's the first mana game. I wanted to get it. I should have Secret of Mana. I haven't gotten around to it. Um, it's okay. Ultra Challenge, not worth it. Very irritating game that sometimes just crashed on me. Crashed like 4 times. It's a hack of Mega Man 1 if you couldn't guess. We should probably get rid of this. Oh, Team Rocket. At first this was really fun. But the 100-point achievement I had to reset like a half hour in. Because you have to do stuff a certain way, which is, it kind of makes me say bad set. Like, it's a fine game. It's a cool concept. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, set. Man, it does not deserve to go up there. We need another tier. We already have so many tiers. Oh my god. Alright. Below this one. At a row below. Don't worry, more tiers. Alright game. Alright set. I guess is the best way to put it. How did I not have that already? Whatever. But Hippodrome, not worth it. I don't think this game is that good. It was interesting to play. Technically, it would be play a new game, but it's not worth it because I do not care for it. Emerald Kaizo, I think, was actually really fun. Fun game, alright set. The only thing that really sucks is the gym leader rematches. You have to grind those out, and they're really annoying to do. Takes you like 2-3 hours minimum, if you're lucky, to get the phone calls to be able to go finish it. It's really frustrating, but Emerald Kaizo was actually really fun. Mudkip was RNG hell. It's a subset of Pokemon Emerald where you only have Mudkip and then Cast Form later to be able to do the double battles in certain scenarios. Overall, this was very brutal. I need a new tier. Can I? Nope, I don't think I can replace anything. Where is it? I guess I could change these around, but we're gonna put it above this. Don't worry, more tiers. We're good at this. And we are gonna put let's put this blue. RNG hell. This was awful to get. Oh my god, which is also this one. So this is Pokemon Emerald Mudkip right here, and then this Pokemon Emerald Party Randomizer. Oh my god, were these both fucked up. Oh my, I'm just thinking of the 2 hours I wasted just, and I didn't even get the achievement, by the way. I wasted 2 hours going into the Elite Four, getting my ass kicked, reloading, and then eventually I quit after 2 hours, and then I came back like a month later and tried again, and I still lost, and this was truly RNG hell. Oh my god, that was frustrating. Um, Congo Bongo was pretty simple. It's kind of a bad game. It, you know what? Alright game, alright set. It doesn't do anything. The set itself was pretty simple. I don't know what you could have done. It's kind of a good set in that regard, but it kind of fits there. Fruit Ninja for PSP. It's a homebrew, which I try to actually leave off most of those, but I do want to mention this. It's actually just a really decent time. So there you go. Uh, this is not worth it. This is so fast. This is Galaxian for the PC 88. Um, Oh my god, is this fast? You cannot control shit. There's a reason it's so short and quick. This is Fire Red backwards. I actually really like it, but a lot of these are gonna go here. Probably alright game. Alright, set. This was Recharge Yellow. I think the set is pretty meh. The fun, the it's uh, we'll say fun game. I actually do like it, but this is the monotype challenge for Pokemon Green. It's the Japanese version. Basically, it made us go through monotype. I I kind of like it a lot. So yeah, Felix the Cat for Game Boy. I think this is actually one of the best sets on the site. Very basic. Also, I didn't play Felix the Cat before then, so I played the NES version, but um, I also played the NES version on the site. I'm missing like 4 achievements because I haven't gone back. Uh, what else we grabbing? This is Pac-Man for Game Boy. I think it's kind of a fun game art set. It's pretty simple. Anybody can do it. Which is Miss Pac-Man for arcade. Also a fun game art set. Actually, it's a good set. Like I love Miss Pac-Man for arcade. I keep over scrolling. Pokemon Leaf Green. This is the most like basic Pokemon set. I recommend this. I might do a video where I pull out like the top 10 like games I recommend in general to start RA, and Leaf Green would be on there if you're a Pokemon fan. Like it straight up is that. Wreckman is a 3DO hack that's basically Pac-Man. Uh, it's a time waster, brain off. It was pretty simple. Night Driver is the arcade game. I actually hadn't played the game before. It's a pretty good game. I should put it up here, but I had seen a lot of people. It's just a time waster. Same with Lego Star Wars. This is the first one for PS2. Little Cup Red is also here, but it's alright game, alright set. It made me think sometimes. Mega Mania, I think this is what it is for Atari 2600. Bad game, great set. That's where most of the Atari goes. Most of the Atari is like that. This is RNG Hell, technically. Ancient Dungeon was, uh, it was a bitch sometimes to get what you want. So basically, this is a hack of the first Legend of Zelda that turns into like a roguelike, which each room is kind of randomized. The bosses are random, and there's damageless bosses. So sometimes you could just not get the boss, to get the random achievement, which was really, really annoying. RNG Hell, it's not as bad as these, but it was still up there. Let me think. All right, let's do Mega Man 1. I actually think this is a really good set for Mega Man 1 in general. We'll get into Mega Man 2, how I hate it, but Mega Man 1, I think it really fits the game. It's not really a super fun game, but I'm used to it, so it kind of gets up here because of bias. Sorry. But Mega Man 1, the set itself is really, really strong. It allows you to explore every asset of the game. There's basic Buster, there's basic Damageless, Mega Man staples on RA, which I'm not a fan of, but whatever. I will say probably the hardest achievement in general is that stupid lift jump in the last Wily stage. Because there's a thing where you can't use Magnet Beam unless it's required for some achievements. In Wily 1 it is required, and that's the only spot it is required. But after that, every single level has don't use Magnet Beam or any power at all. And the last Wily stage has that jump. It's a brutal jump. It's honestly really, really brutal. But it's also a part of the game, so I can't really complain. I I kind of wish I had another tier, but we're not gonna do it. Where's Mega Man 2? Right here. Mega Man 2. I think Mega Man 2 is not that fun, but it was an okay. This set has a few really stupid achievements. It's also kind of broken sometimes. Which is kind of weird because you think it would be protected, but I don't know what happened with it. Some of the achievements just pop randomly. This is Rockman for PlayStation 1. Uh, Fun game, alright set. I recommend that if you like Mega Man, but you don't like the hard uh, sets that are the classic style. Go to Rockman. It's a lot simpler, pretty easy, and plus you get a nice little badge. I do like it to have these paired next to each other. Like if you look at it, looks pretty cool. Uh, this is Aerial Assault, I think. It might be. This is for Game Gear. I played this for a challenge on the site for a bunch of people beating like 30 Game Gear games or something like that. Or mastering 30 Game Gear games. It's an alright game, alright set, but it does have some RNG stuff. This was cool. I had never played Carnivores before. Carnivores is this hunting game with dinosaurs, duh. Um, and it's actually really really fun for the PSP. If I will mention that is helped by having speed up an emulator, because there are certain segments of the islands or the maps that you're just running straight at something, so you can just speed up. It's something like that, which is kind of Carnivore's Ice Age as well. They are high up. They do belong up here. G.I. Joe is technically a new game, but I played it because it was funny. There's a certain story with it. I'm not going to get into it, but alright game, alright set. This is Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge for the Game Boy Color. Fun game. It's actually surprising how good of a game it is for Game Boy Color. Uh, Technically, this is RNG hell as well. But Nintendo World Championship is a fun game, alright set. That's not true. Alright game, alright set. It has Stupid Rad Racer. Yeah, let's go Super Pac-Man. I don't like Super Pac-Man. Bad game, great set. I think Super Pac-Man sucks. This is Intellivision Pac-Man. Can you tell when I played it? Championship Edition. It has one bad achievement, in my opinion. But it's still a fun game. It's actually one of my favorite Pac-Mans to play. This is the Atari 2600 Pac-Man. I played it during Peak Streak. This is Miss Pac-Man. This was hard. It's not like the hardest Pac-Man I've played, but it was not worth it. It plays like ass. We have Superman. I played during Peak Streak. Kind of, maybe. Something like that. I think I had to. I hate this game. Tak the Great Juju Challenge. I played it during the PS2 when it first launched around there. My god, that game sucks ass. Zombie Nader, I think, is really, really fun. Really surprisingly fun for the Ooze Box of all things. Fun game, alright set. I wish there was more to it, but the Ooze Box is weird. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. Not worth it, but I'm also a trash monster. It's bad game, great set, because I played this as a kid, and it was my first Spyro game, so I had to go and get it. What else do we got? Pokemon Red Blue, I think is a simple set. Alright game, alright set. Yeah, it's pretty simple to get. Pokemon Silver, I think, is also in that route. Air Slide, I think this was really fun. Fun game, alright set. I wish there was more to it, but basically, it's Mega Man 5 or Rockman 5, where you can air slide. Really, really cool. It changes the levels to kind of fit it. Fun. Oh, Junior Pac-Man for... This was Peak Streak. This was... I don't... This might not be a part of Peak Streak, now that I think of it. But we'll put it here anyway, because it's literally just mid. Mr. Do, I had never played before. It's interesting. It's just like Dig Dug, in a way. And... should we just Monopoly it up? I don't know which one is the NES versus, like, the Genesis, but they're all kind of mid. I think that's the PS1 game, and then one of these is supposed to be the N64. I can't tell. Because all the badges are the same. So this, I think, is the NES. This looks like the Genesis. This is the SNES, and this is the N64. I think. I don't think I played it for Peak Streak, but hey, they go there. PS1 game happens to be the first video game I ever played, which kind of dates me. But alright game, alright set. and then we'll do N64 at the same place. Uh, I think this is Dark Violet, and this is Ultraviolet. They're just time wasters, straight up. Time wasters, brain off. A lot of these Pokemon games were like that for me. The bonus set for Pokemon Red and Blue was really, really fun, actually. Fun game. Alright set. I actually want to put it up here. It was nice to explore. By the way, when you do a template, I love that these are just up here for fucking no reason. Twitch Plays Pokemon Red was actually, it's a great set. It's just a bad hack. Yeah, we'll put it there. It was kind of annoying. It's one of the greatest sets of all time. Sexy Pachinko React. Insane. If you don't have this on your RA board, you're not respected. Regulation Red, I think this is one of my favorite games that I've ever done. It's hard. And yes, there's some stuff that makes me hate it. It is a hack that basically goes into insane territories for Pokemon Red and Blue. I played Pokemon Red. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Insane. Love it. It's probably... I will organize this in my like favorite badges in general, but we have Yu-Gi-Oh! This was just a giant time waster in general, but it was an alright set in general as well. GG series, this was just not worth it. The Last Night, it's for DSi, it was pretty meh. And then we have Soul Blazer, which is fun game, alright set. Alright, so I think we'll organize this because I do actually agree. This sadly is last. It's just a stamp of approval by other people. So I think my favorite one that I've ever done is Regulation Red. I think it's really, really good. Burnout 3 is probably next. I think Ridge Racer is probably third. Miss Pac-Man's fourth. We kind of like the Smash 64. Those are my top 5, maybe. Actually, this would be up here if it wasn't like a new game, which I will order because these are all new games that I should order. Which this goes up. No, I don't like carnivores that much. X Zeus is probably the bottom. Now Mr. Do is. Felix the Cat is here. Pack Car is one of the greatest games of all time, but still like goes there. And yeah, I think that's good for that. This is a decent order. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that's the order of most of the badges. RNG Hell. I still have nightmares of these two specifically. This one wasn't that bad, but it was still RNG Hell. Not worth it. Yeah, you know what? I agree with this. These were not worth it. This was a waste of time. And these 3 are the bottom that I'm never going to be proud of because I hate all of it. Just all of it. But if you don't know what Retro Achievements is, I'm going to do a nice little spiel here. Retro Achievements is a nice way to get retro achievements into older games, or achievements in general to older games. As you can see, not a single game I have put technically has achievements on any system. Besides Budokai in the re-release, I think. Force Unleashed for 360. But for the most part, you could tell that most of these did not come with achievements. Or at least not achievements outside of in-game like Championship Edition. But so if you want to play wacky achievement sets with some pretty fun games, in my opinion, I mean, I put a lot of examples, it's a good way to do it. I will be putting a link to my profile if you want to check it out. I didn't put every single badge that I have because one, a lot of those games would straight up just be in Peak Streak. Like, straight up, I did 100 of them. 100 of them. Yeah, it's really, really, it burned me out on RA for a bit. But I think this is a strong tier list. If you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. If you are on RA, put your favorite badge in the comments. And I'll catch you later.